In the city of Los Angeles, amidst the chaotic aftermath of a devastating earthquake, a small life fights a battle of its own. Our tale begins with Penny, a feline of great spirit and courage who faced an ordeal like no other. Her tail, once a lively extension of her animated character, was left mangled and broken, a casualty of the collapsed wall that fell during the quake. Yet, in the face of adversity, Penny's resilient spirit shone through. Her tail might have been broken, but not her will to survive, not her spirit. Her struggle to adapt to her new reality was a testament to her unyielding strength and tenacity. For every wince of pain, she responded with a purr of defiance, a signal that she was not ready to give up, that she was a fighter. Enter Mrs. Pruitt, a widow herself battling her own demons, colon cancer. Amidst the ruins of what once was their home, she found Penny. The sight of the small, injured creature stirred something within her. Recognizing a fellow survivor, she took Penny in, offering her shelter, love, and companionship. Despite her injury, Penny found solace in the warmth of Mrs. Pruitt's lap, a bond that would prove stronger than any calamity. In the face of adversity, they found each other, two souls intertwined by their shared struggles, a beacon of hope in the chaos of their lives. Penny, the little kitty with a broken tail, found more than just a home with Mrs. Pruitt. She found a companion, a friend in her loneliest hours. In the grand scheme of life, one might think that a tiny feline, especially one with her own struggles, would be insignificant in the face of human suffering. But oh, how wrong such a notion can be. You see, when Mrs. Pruitt found Penny, she wasn't just rescuing a helpless kitten. She was inviting into her life an embodiment of strength and love that would soon become her closest companion. Mrs. Pruitt, a widow woman, was battling colon cancer. The days were long and the nights even longer. The quiet of her home was often shattered by harsh coughs, the silence of solitude broken only by the ticking of the clock. Life, as it was, seemed to be a constant struggle. But then, Penny came along. With her soft purrs and comforting presence, she filled Mrs. Pruitt's home with a warmth that had been missing for a long time. She wasn't just a pet. She was a friend, a confidant, a comforting presence in the stormy sea of life. Penny, with her charming meows and playful antics, brought a smile to Mrs. Pruitt's face, a sparkle in her eyes that had been missing for a while. Their bond was extraordinary, a testament to the power of love and companionship. It was as if they both understood each other's pain, their mutual struggles, and their need for a companion. Mrs. Pruitt cared for Penny, tending to her broken tail, feeding her, loving her, and Penny, in her own way, cared for Mrs. Pruitt, staying by her side, offering comfort with her soft purrs and just being there for her. Their bond was unbreakable, a beacon of hope and resilience in the face of adversity. It was a silent promise, a mutual understanding that they were there for each other no matter what. Even with her own struggles, Penny never failed to be by Mrs. Pruitt's side, providing her with a source of strength and resilience. Penny, with her undying spirit and love, brought more than just joy to Mrs. Pruitt's life. She was a beacon of hope, a bundle of joy, and a constant companion in Mrs. Pruitt's darkest hours. You see, Penny had this uncanny knack of knowing when Mrs. Pruitt needed her the most. She would rub against her legs, purring softly, her green eyes filled with affection and understanding. Mrs. Pruitt's health started to improve, her days filled with the playful antics of her little feline friend. Penny would chase after shadows, pounce on imaginary prey, and make the most amusing sounds, bringing laughter into the quiet, somber house. Her resilience was infectious, her spirit unbreakable. It's been said that laughter is the best medicine, and Penny provided that in spades. But it was more than just her playful nature that aided Mrs. Pruitt's recovery. It was the silent companionship during the long nights, the soft purring that filled the silence, and the constant presence of a being that depended on her. Penny gave Mrs. Pruitt a purpose, a reason to fight, a reason to live. Penny's love was unconditional, her loyalty unwavering. She would sit by Mrs. Pruitt's side during her most painful episodes, providing comfort with her mere presence. Her soft purrs would lull Mrs. Pruitt to sleep, providing a brief respite from her agonizing reality. Penny was more than just a pet to Mrs. Pruitt. She was her confidant, her source of joy, her ray of hope. She brought life back into Mrs. Pruitt's world, filling it with love and laughter. It was Penny's love and companionship that breathed new life into Mrs. Pruitt, proving that sometimes the smallest creatures make the biggest difference. Penny's tale is a testament to the power of love and companionship, a reminder that even in the face of adversity, there is always a ray of hope. Penny, the little cat with a broken tail, proved that it's not the physical strength that matters, but the strength of the heart.